like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Appleby?
Present.
Barcey?
Present.
Free Partner?
Present.
Hobbs?
Present.
Kinsella, yes. Weber?
Yes,
Okay.
present.
Okay, under corrections and changes to the agenda, I would like to remove under new business to destroy all audio and video recordings of executive sessions before July 2020. We will revisit that at another time. Any discussion concerning that? Any other any other corrections or changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Public comment.
Am I the only one? Okay, for the record, I'm Mark Riesney. I'm a police investigator from Seneca Police Department, and on behalf of the police department, and also after discussion with the LaSalle County State's Attorney's Office, we want to go on record and officially ask you not to destroy any records, any videos, any audio recordings, any minutes of the executive sessions or any of the other library operations until the ongoing investigations are complete. And the state's attorney also wanted to pass on that we'd seen that there was a motion to destroy those records, which has now been taken off. There's a procedure for that which requires them to be made public before they're destroyed, and you can check with the state's attorney's office, the attorney general, or your attorney on that. But that could potentially have been a problem for you.
We had that on advice of our lawyer.
Okay?
Well,
And I'm passing on what we got from.
And I think every
But-
other library in every other state does the same thing at a certain point in time.
But Paula, were the minutes from those executive sessions ever released to public? What he's saying is that legally has to be done prior
Before
to
they
the
get
destruction. And it has to be voted on, it has to be a motion, and that is the law. Every library does that. Every municipality does that. Before you can destroy it, you have to release it to the public.
Well, then they'll stay in the archive forever.
well, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you.
All right,
Why-
thank you.
why
Thank
would-
you.
Any other public comment?
I'll add to that, I did speak with Pole City Library at least, I didn't get a chance to touch base with Morris, but Pole City does indeed do what you're saying. They release to the public first, before then it is then reviewed, and yeah, they do that 18 months, anything past 18 months is destroyed, but first it has to be released to the public, is how they do. So another library does indeed do that. I did actually check with that today, and I didn't get a chance to talk to any others, but real quick touch base, just so curious.
Okay.
So that is that.
Is that releasing to the public the written?
I would have to ask, I assume,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure. She's
Isn't that
the
what we found,
judging-
what I
Yes.
found out?
That's
Well,
it.
we do know that if we release the written records, that the audio also has to be,
No,
that's what we were told.
I think we need to do some
I think we need
research on
to,
this.
we need to do some
We
more
will talk to
research
the
then and
state's
get the
attorney.
process.
We will do some research on this, but thank you both, I think.
Yes.
Thank you both
Yes.
for bringing it to
We're
our
all
attention.
learning through all of this. I mean, we are.
Can I add?
Oh,
Yes.
Yana has something to
Yeah,
add. Excuse me.
It's just what our attorney told us some time ago, that the written meeting minutes of the closed session must be done. He didn't say they need to be released, but we can double check and clarify it with him and state's attorney.
Yeah.
But we were under the impression that, based on his advice, as long as there are minutes, then audio recordings can be, as long as there are minutes taken during those meetings, then audio or video could be destroyed if they're older than 18 months.
Right, but the minutes have to be released to the public first.
He didn't know. He said it was not one of the conditions. But we
we'll
can
have to-
always go back.
Right.
When was the
Find
last
out.
time anything was destroyed?
Yeah. I think this is definitely something that we need to do some more research on. I'll help
Do
you
it
out.
after 18
Yeah,
months.
I will
Yeah.
help you with, I'll help you with that. We'll make some calls to to contact whoever we need to and get definitive answers. That's what research is about.
Can I jump in? I'm having a hard time hearing, I think Ann is too.
Okay.
Can we move that microphone?
Is it better? Is it better?
Yeah, just move it towards the center or something.
Yeah, it's not, doesn't have to be closer to them, because
Yeah.
Just closer to the center of
As far.
the, no, closer to the center. Move.
this way? That's as far as it can go, from,
No,
Back
you
toward
can't see
you?
me pointing. At the edge of the table.
Oh, you mean
Edge of the table. In
Here?
the middle, where you had it. No, where you had it.
Out to the edge.
Put it in front of Lynn.
in front of him? Okay.
There we go, thank you.
Okay.
Barcey understands my babble. Thank you.
and we'll try to speak up too.
Yes, any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, the next order of business is, ordinance 21-01A.
I move to approve the amended ordinance 21-01A to include the corrected year of 2022 for the January through June dates.
Beautiful.
I'll second that. I'll second the motion.
Okay.
The motion on the floor, I'll repeat, the motion on the floor is been moved by Weber and seconded by Kinsella to approve the amended ordinance 21-01A to include corrected year of 2022 for the January through June dates of that ordinance. All right. You want me to take
Roll
roll call?
call.
Okay, roll call vote. Weber.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Appleby.
Yes.
Barcey.
Yes.
Hobbs.
Yes.
Free partner.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's taken care of. It is time to have a motion to go into executive session, and we invite you to go into the library, please. There's tables up toward the front. It's pretty cold to go outside. Please.
We need a motion.
I make a motion that we go to executive session.
I'll second that. Can we do a unanimous oral
All
vote?
those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Interesting.
A lot of people do it driving.
Yeah, I don't drive that
Okay.
much, so.
No, I never.
It is 6:47, and we will now return to the open session. And next item of business is to appoint a trustee and the new trustee protocol.
I make a motion that we appoint Jennifer Fry as new incoming trustee, effective immediately.
Top of them. I don't know.
Did you hear that?
Did I hear?
No,
Did
I
you
did.
make the motion? Yes.
Okay.
And Lynn seconded it, right?
No, not here.
Oh, you haven't done it yet. Second the motion.
Oh, sure. So I'll second that.
It has been moved by Weber and seconded by Hobbs to appoint Jennifer Fry to the position of Seneca Public Library Board trustee. Roll call vote. Weber,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I need Jennifer, to read these lovely words here. If you would like to stand and read them loudly.
Okay.
Right up here at the top, and then, just go ahead, cross it out, because you have a position. You can come a little closer
Okay.
to the microphone,
Sorry,
and then,
yeah.
so then the other
Okay.
people can hear.
I, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the library trustee according to the best of my ability. Date January 19th, 2022.
Okay. And you are duly part of our team, and I need these by the end of the meeting. So signatures on those. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I would like to appoint Ann Barcey to the Finance Committee.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Time to approve all these minutes. First, we have December 15th, 2021, the regular board meeting minutes.
I make a motion to accept the December 15th, 21 regular board meeting minutes.
Okay, a second, please.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Weber,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Fry.
Yes.
Free partner,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
The December 15th, 2021 executive session minutes. Motion.
I move that we accept the executive session from December 15th meeting as well.
A second.
Yes.
Okay, Hobbs, second. Roll call.
Weber,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Barcey.
Yes.
I'm gonna abstain,
I
because
was
I wasn't
like-
there.
And because I did not hand them to you.
That's all right.
Because
That's
those
all
we
right, I
handed
wasn't
out.
there.
Okay. Kinsella, yes. Free
Yes.
partner,
Okay, the December 16th, 2021 Personnel Committee meeting minutes.
I'll move to accept the Personnel Committee minutes.
A
I'll second.
Okay, Ann, second from Ann. Roll call.
Weber,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Fry.
Abstain.
Okay, because you didn't
Yes.
read those yet. Okay, makes sense. Free partner,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
Okay, the January 11th, 2022 Policy Committee meeting minutes.
I move that we accept the policy committee meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Okay. Kinsella, yes. Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Fry.
I'm reading them, I do it
Abstain.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
abstain is fine.
Okay,
Yes.
whatever you want to do. I didn't want to put words in your
Yeah,
mouth.
okay.
Free
I
partner?
did read those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are nice.
Yeah, just to the point.
The January 12th, 2022 Special Board meeting minutes.
I will move that we accept the January 12th executive session minutes. From
No,
the, oh, I'm
special.
sorry, special board meeting. Can't do the, you have to do them separate, okay,
Yes.
yep.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay, second from
I'll
Appleby.
second.
Okay. It has been moved by Weber and seconded by Appleby to approve the special board meeting minutes as presented. Weber,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Fry,
I do have this special one, this one?
Yes.
We're good.
okay, yes. Free partner?
Yes.
Okay.
The January 12th, 2022 executive session minutes.
I'll move to accept the January 12th executive session minutes.
A second?
I'll
Yes.
second.
Okay.
Appleby.
Appleby is second. Okay, roll call?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the executive session minutes for January 12, 2022 as presented. Weber,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Fry.
I'll just, because I wasn't there.
Okay, abstain.
Yes.
Free Partner and Kinsella, yes.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer's financial report. You're on, Rich.
Okay, I hope you can hear me for
This
this.
is, yep, treasurer.
I hope you can hear
Treasurer.
me from this. I did provide a sheet of paper that Yana handed out
Yeah, he's
tonight,
gonna
and I
go over
emailed it
this.
to you.
Okay.
Basically, first thing we're gonna look at, you're not gonna be able to see it here, but it's the fund activity investment balance.
Yeah.
It looks like this. The only two things on there, there's two things, I did not put one on my trustee's report, treasurer's report to you. The first thing I wanna note is that we did transfer $60,000 to pay expenses this year from our money market account. That's something we normally do. It'll be 30, sometimes 40, sometimes 60, whatever our expenses are.
He's looking at this right now.
The other interesting thing there that I did not mark on here, on your sheet, is on that same line, you'll see, $5,412. That's our final payment from, LaSalle County taxes. So, that's that sheet there. And moving on, the financial report, which is the portrait looking one. Okay. Just note that we're halfway through our financial year, 50%. So what I'd like to point out, I just said, we have received virtually all of our expected property taxes. Okay. And overall, on our revenue side, we received about 97% of our expected revenue, which the vast majority is revenue from property taxes. A couple of things I want to notice on the disbursements, the lower half of that is programming, that we are picking up our programming again finally. We're getting rolling on that, and Yana and the staff are doing real well. We spent a little under $700 roughly since the last report. And on the collections, we're increasing our collections to the tune of $7,700 since our last report. So some of those things that had fallen behind earlier in the year, they are catching up on, and I think that's wonderful. The one thing I did have a question I got an answer for was the $765 in contingency fees. That would be for holiday bonuses. And the last page, and this is the confusing one, I'm not going to refer to this often in my reports. If you ever see it and you want to have specific questions, everything that up here that I would ever do is going to be, I'm going to bring up in here. So just so you know, there's a typo. It still says 11-month actual. It should be 12-month actual. We'll get that taken care of. Does anybody have any questions?
No
Good to go.
questions.
Yep, go ahead.
We're all good? Okay. So those three documents are what compile, or what is basically the treasurer's financial report, which will be put on record for audit. So I'd like to make a motion to put these documents, put the treasurer's report on file for audit.
We need a second for that.
I'll second.
Okay.
It's been moved by Appleby and seconded by Weber to file the submitted treasurer's report for audit. Appleby,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Fry. Yes. Free Partner,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
Okay, then we're gonna move on to the presentation of bills. I'm just getting over this hoarseness from the sore throat, so, I already mentioned that there were two $30,000 transfers from our money market to meet our expenses. Those occurred on the 7th and the 20th. They're so marked in your packet. Okay. The other thing that's come up again is the name of QuickBooks Payroll Service. If you look down there, on the first page, you'll see like 3 in a row, and if you flip through, you'll see everything else. All that is that's just the total payroll that is entered into the QuickBooks software. It's entered into a payroll section of the software. And then below it, you'll see various names of employees with zeros. That number on the QuickBooks payroll service, just think of it as the total for those unnamed or unnumbered zeros. We're not paying for a separate server. Okay. And maybe we can come up with a different name for that, I don't know. Some other things I'd like to point out is we got some refunds, notably from Penguin Random House and American Library Association. And there's other refunds and stuff that over time, I'm sure that Yana's gonna find for us, because she's done a really good job for that. And we continue to deposit the weekly receipts, as the policy requires. So I know that was an issue before, and I would just like to point out that we are continuing that, and it's being done. Before I move on for a motion, does anybody have any questions about anything in particular?
I have one question, Rich, for Yana. On the bottom, the very last entry on the second page is Cincinnati Insurance Companies, D&O Insurance. What is that short for?
Directors and officers. Directors and officers.
Okay.
This is insurance for the board members
Okay,
in case there are any legal liabilities. That's the coverage for. And Cincinnati Insurance Company is part of our other insurance company, so they merged at some point, but that's what it is.
okay. Thank you. Is it, and that's once a year?
It's, yeah.
Yes, it was once a year. When we discussed it, Yana, when we looked all that up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
Does anybody have any other questions, specific or general? Well, I'll make a motion to accept the presentation of bills and to approve the bills.
I'll second.
It has been moved by Appleby and seconded by Barcey that the bills be approved as presented. Appleby,
Yes.
Barcey,
Yes.
Fry. Yes. Weber,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free Partner.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, I have nothing to report, so we'll move on to the director's report.
Property taxes. Two of the library properties were merged, so both parts of the library building are on one property index number now. The county supervisor of assessments has sent us 3 notices of change. 2 for the deletion of the 2 properties that the library sits on, and 1 for the addition of the new property created by the combination of those 2 properties. We have received the property exemptions for the 2 parking lot and the new property created by the combination of the 2 deleted properties. And the tax exemptions have been filed. I mailed them, but I will also log into assessor's office in a couple of weeks, and just to make sure that everything is recorded properly, that they're not lost in the mail. And we will look for them again in January of next year. Our monthly credit card limit has been changed from 2,000 to 5,000. It used to be 5,000 during my predecessor's tenure, and one employee had a secondary card for 2,000. So when with the departure of the former director, her card was canceled, but we still had 2,000 instead of 5, so we couldn't make more. And this is one of the reasons why we didn't spend more on programming, because it took a while to change all of that. So now the limit has been changed or restored back to 5,000. And we are going to change our card agreement and get cashback rewards, which will be redeemed for credit on card statements. The AUP audit is in progress. The library has been providing additional information requested by auditors, and just today I received the word from them that they've received everything they needed, and they're beginning to write the report. We have created a patron issues tracking system to improve customer service. Published the librarian January-February newsletter, and 3 near the parking lot has been removed. The stump is still there because they couldn't remove it. It's in a close proximity to the fence, but they are using some kind of chemical to dissolve it, so it doesn't damage your stump remover. Thank you. So this will be complete soon. And programs, weekly story time. In December, we had 3 people attended. Travel and office with Representative David Welter, 4 people attended. Anime club, 6 people, and total of 13 people in December. Print book AV circulation by transaction type. It's close to, in December is close to November, even though there were more days when we were closed. So it's yeah. Electronic item checkouts and downloads are also about the same, 503 items in December compared to 521 in November. Interlibrary loan, loaned 602 items in December and 652. We do not have, unfortunately, borrowed statistics because we've made a mistake and we've calculated total amount of items received in our bins each day instead of just incoming items on hold to interlibrary loan. And it's been addressed and will be correct going forward. FOIA request field in December of 21, 9, in November 14. Total for the year, calendar year 2021, 191 FOIAs filled. And under miscellaneous, we have 463 items added to the catalog. Computer used by patrons 14, same as in November. and new library cards issued 8 compared to 3 in November.
Are there still no fines?
Still no fines, and I've been thinking about it, how to address it, and I've learned that I was debating about going back to charging fines, but taking into account COVID, I think we should wait. Compared to our peers or neighbors, out of 137 public libraries in Prairie Cat, our library system, only 23 libraries do not charge fines.
How many was that? Only
23.
23 out of 137?
Yes.
That's in Prairie Cat, not Rails, but
It's in
Prairie
Prairie Cat.
Okay.
They don't charge fines.
They do?
They do not.
They do not, so only 23 are not
Only
charged.
23.
Okay.
23, I think.
Yes, out of 137. If we decided not to charge fines, we have to think it over. But I would probably not move in that direction.
Well, the question is, are we getting our materials back
Oh, yes.
in a timely manner?
We are getting our materials back. Instead, we're still charging for lost materials. We are not charging fines, but we're charging for lost materials.
Right.
But the way we charge for lost materials, it's not, some libraries charge fees because it costs money to process. It costs approximately $50 per book, roughly, if you take into account
Average.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we have to charge $50 on top of the book, but so there are all kinds of things that we need to take into account before we make any decision.
Right.
But I think we should just leave it everything the way it is because of COVID right now, and just keep the same temporary policy, right, that was adopted at some point.
So right now, we're not charging for late fees.
We don't.
For even movies or anything like that, but we are charging if a lost item, somebody loses an
Lost
actual item.
or wrecked.
So basically replacement.
Replacement cost.
Okay, yeah. And you're saying 23 are not charging anything
No,
at
no, no,
all?
they're not charging daily fines.
Daily
They still charge
Replacement.
replacement.
Oh,
They still
okay.
charge replacement fees, but there are 23 who are not doing daily fines, which we are not.
That's what I was gonna say, I didn't think we were, so we're in
Right.
that, we're
We are
included in
in
that.
We're one
yeah.
of that 23.
Okay.
We are 24th. There are
So there are 24.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's something for more discussion and thought
Yeah.
as COVID ends.
Yeah.
Things get back to normal.
Sorry. I know. As we get a better handle on it, maybe we should say, because it will never end, whatever. But we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
And this is something to investigate and analyze.
Yeah.
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 I do have one quick question. You talked about the changing the credit card. Is the credit card still with First Midwest Bank?
Yes.
We're still using the same carrier, it's just a different agreement?
It's a different agreement. I just got it today. There will be, we will get some rewards back. Same company, we'll get a new card number. We'll have to change it in Amazon. We'll have to change it with our vendor.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's, yeah,
That's
there
a pretty
will
good
be
thing.
no real change except for getting rewards.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. We're down to committee reports. Anything from the Personnel Committee?
We did have, I don't need the notes. There was one meeting, I unfortunately was not able to make that one, but, again, it's just the process of kind of reviewing the different personnel handbooks that we have. We did get a really good one from, I think you guys are also using Morris, that really has a nice, index, a good format. It blends the two together, so there's not a need of a separate personnel from policies. They're all going to be encased in one, basically manual, one living, breathing document that we can continuously update, change, and adjust as needed, so.
So not specifying what it is? Each has a section or
Oh,
all
yeah,
mixed
there's a
together?
table of
Okay.
contents, and it breaks it down really, really specifically
probably
to the
like this
page
stuff,
and
yeah.
everything. It's a nice format, yeah. So that's what we're looking at, and working on the employee benefits section primarily right now. Go ahead, Ann.
Oh, no, yeah, I was just saying that it really was a great, it's tied everything together, everything was very specific. Anything that you wanted to find, it was very user-friendly.
Exactly. Some of them are a lot of legal, and it's really hard to follow. I mean, when you have a sentence that is the whole paragraph, you know, this is very easy for staff, employees, and it's legally, obviously acceptable too, so. That's where we're at there.
Okay, thank you. Policy?
We've worked as a committee, we've worked on the credit card policy that is up for adoption tonight. We've talked about it a little bit here. The credit card will be issued to the director, and other staff members may use it as approved by the director. We talked about the $5,000 credit limit, that there will be back rewards on it, that it would be paid on the due dates. It's limited to purchases from companies that do not invoice or send paper bills. So like the grocery store here and Ace, they will send an invoice.
They do, yes,
Yeah.
we have accounts with them.
Right, we have accounts
Yes.
with them. I mean,
We wouldn't use credit card with them.
with them, but like Dollar General
Yeah.
and
Subway.
do not. They won't do that.
Yeah, we try to minimize our use of credit
Right.
card as much as we can. So-
Right, and that nothing will be paid without a receipt. Or,
Exactly,
you know,
yes.
that those receipts
Yes.
must be there, and they must be given to you,
Yeah.
you know, before you reconcile. And if you would leave, of course, the credit card
Yeah.
comes back. So that's the high points of it. Are there any questions about the credit card policy? You all got it in your packets.
I had one question. Are we
Yes.
tax exempt?
Yes.
Yes.
And that automatically is done with the credit card, or do
No.
you have to give them a number and all that stuff at the store? When you,
Yes.
yeah.
And we have set up tax exempt with several stores. And, yes, so every time we make a purchase, we make sure. We have tax exempt with Ace, with food store, with Subway, with Dollar General, with Casey's. So that's, yeah, and every purchase we make is tax exempt.
And online, you do that.
Yeah.
You send them your.
It depends. They all have different policies.
Right.
Sometimes it takes longer to set it up. They have to approve it. Walmart had to.
Oh, yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that with them. And
Dollar General in town here is sometimes a go-round too.
Oh, they have it with them. They have tax exempt.
so you're working to set up as many possible.
Yes,
as
and
you
and
can.
all those that I've just mentioned, we already have them set up. And I'm looking at our older purchases to see if I could possibly recover some of the taxes we paid before, and we might be able to.
So any other questions on the credit card policy?
Okay.
All right. The other thing on the policies, there was, the gift and donation policy will be ready for approval. It was not on this agenda, but you received it in your packet. It basically is exactly what was in the policy manual previously. We tightened up the wording. It was like 3 pages long, so we kind of redundant in places, so we just tightened that up. Yana, I didn't do it. Yana did that one, for sure. And then that's the gift and donation policy. And the travel and reimbursement policy, I've talked about that at previous meetings. It really is that resolution 2101, which was following the state law on travel and reimbursement. So for us to have a separate policy is really redundant, and we don't want to do anything that is against or conflict or makes the law less.
And that was Phil's point, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
So the travel and reimbursement policy is really the resolution 2101 that was passed on April 21, 21. So therefore, that additional policy is not needed, but we have discussed it at length at policy meetings on what would be considered travel and who would be having the travel and how many miles over is it approved, and that nothing's paid without receipts, and that you must turn them in within the week. And so those are things that you will discuss before anyone, with the employees, before they would take
Yeah.
a travel.
Yeah.
Okay. So even though we have the law and that resolution, we also have had really good discussion on what would be considered an appropriate travel and reimbursement. Okay. I just wanted everybody to know why that's not being approved, because we talked about it last night. There's also a need to update the eligibility to borrow policy so that we can meet the current laws, and that's something that I will try to help you on if you need that, so that we will work on that one. And as Margie also said, with policy, finance, and personnel, we're going to try really hard to work together to have a whiz-bang policy manual that has everything together and that is easily accessible.
Navigating.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
easily
navigate it.
accessible. And we're going to continue to work through the policy manual to determine the greatest need. And the next meeting is Friday, January 21 at 2. At 2 o'clock.
2.
2.
And personnel is
Actually, tomorrow at 4.
Tomorrow at 4.
I thought you
Four,
said
and I'm-
Saturday. Did you say, wasn't it Saturday at 4? No.
No, for personnel
Personnel.
is, no, it's Thursday, it's the day after
Tomorrow.
this meeting, so.
And the policy meeting is Friday at 2. So, okay.
Okay.
Building and maintenance,
Pretty much the tree is down. The stump is there to remind us of it. And we're just
The
waiting
giving
for
tree.
not nasty weather to do some of these things. The roof has been,
and at a
taken care of.
very reasonable cost,
Yep.
too, if you noted that on the bill.
yep,
Unless there was more than one bill.
It's $1,000 divided by 2.
Oh,
Half will be paid by the homeowner.
Oh, you're talking
Oh,
about the
the
tree?
tree. Yeah, the tree.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the roof.
the roof.
Oh,
yeah.
the roof, yes, it was $200 something for
I
the.
saw that 281, I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah.
very reasonable.
oh, yeah.
And that was for a leak that was,
Yeah,
I'll leave it alone.
the roof at some point was painted, and that it's causing some issues. So it was not supposed to be painted, and we don't know when, how. But I went up there, and it looks, you can see exactly where, because it looks very slippery, and
Wet.
that's where wet, and that's where there are a lot of
oh, oh,
leaks.
okay.
Very good. Finance committee,
On the road again.
I just have a question for Lynn. Do you,
Sorry, is it making a lot of noise?
no, I just have one question for building and maintenance. Do you have a meeting scheduled or
Yeah.
not?
February 9th.
Something, yeah.
Okay, you do have a meeting scheduled in February?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll have to look back.
I
at my
usually put
records.
those in the minutes. Thank you.
I'll be contacting you.
I have it on my calendar.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Now finance, I apologize.
Rich, finance committee,
Did we lose him?
did we lose him?
And I haven't been to a finance meeting yet, so sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was waiting to get a member on his committee, was,
Well, Anna,
Yes,
she
he
was
was,
appointed.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just appointed her
Yeah.
tonight, though.
So,
Was did they have a
No,
meeting this
they-
month? I was
so
gonna
we-
say, I didn't
no
think they
meeting, no
did, so
report.
really no report, yeah.
Okay, so on to old business, the AUP audit. I think Yana gave us an update.
It's in their hands. They have I submitted all additional information, and they are writing a report.
do they have a date?
No.
A timeline?
No, she just told me today, just a couple of hours ago.
Oh,
Was it suggested at the beginning, though, of about how long it might take?
No. But I think the longest part is over. I think it's not
Just getting all the
yeah,
materials?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to new business. and the credit card policy.
I would like to move to approve the credit card policy as submitted.
I'll second that motion.
I'll second.
Ann, go ahead.
Got it, Barcey. It's been moved by Kinsella and seconded by Barcey to approve the credit card policy as submitted. Kinsella, yes. Barcey.
Yes.
Appleby. Did we lose him?
We lost him and he's back, but
Okay.
he probably didn't hear.
Okay, I'll come back to him. Hobbs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Fry.
Yes.
Free partner.
Yes.
Appleby for the credit card policy.
There he is, I see him. Oh,
We can have him abstain. All right.
Hey, is there any reason for another executive session?
Do we need to discuss any personnel or anything like that, any issues?
No. Okay. Then
I'm back now, by the way.
Okay. We abstained you on the vote for the credit card policy, Rich.
That's fine, thank you.
Okay.
I would have said yes.
Okay.
So, abstaining.
Okay, so, I would entertain a motion then unless, Rich, do you see any reason why we need an executive session?
I don't have one, no.
I don't have one either. Okay, so I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move.
Okay.
Let's adjourn.
Moved by
Okay, so-
Hobbs and seconded by Appleby to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's 7:26.
Aye.